Thinking about buying property in Turks and Caicos? From $750,000 condos to multi-million-dollar beachfront villas, this market has been attracting international buyers for years. In fact, more than 80% of the property buyers here are foreigners and many from the United States and Canada. But what does your money actually buy? Can Americans legally own properties here? What taxes do foreign buyers pay? And do the Airbnb rental numbers actually make sense? In this video, I'm touring properties with a local Turks and Caicos real estate agent, asking the questions that are on top of foreign buyers' mind. Ownership rules, taxes, rental potential, and the mistakes people make before buying here. And as we walk through these homes, I'll be asking more questions along the way so you can understand exactly how buying property in Turks and Caicos really works. We also tour 2 real properties so you can see exactly what $750,000 to several $1 million can buy in Turks and Caicos. First, why are so many international buyers looking at Turks and Caicos? It's a British overseas territory. The legal system is based on English law. The economy runs on the US dollar, and the government has leaned heavily into tourism and foreign investments. And the tax story is a big reason people look here. There's no annual property tax, no income tax, no local income tax, and no capital gains tax on property. Instead, buyers pay a one-time stamp duty when they purchase, which we'll talk about in a minute. This is also a true luxury market. Beachfront villas can run between $3 to $15 million or more, and luxury condos in prime areas often sit between $1 million to $6 million. So buyers aren't coming here for cheap. They're coming for lifestyle, scarcity, and world-class beaches. One of the first questions buyers ask is simple. Can foreigners actually buy property in Turks and Caicos? The answer is yes. Foreign buyers can purchase and hold property here with freehold title, either personally or through a company, depending on how they structure things. The islands use a registered land system, which means title is recorded in a central registry and guaranteed once properly registered. That gives foreign buyers a lot of confidence compared to some other offshore markets, which means title is recorded in a central registry and guaranteed once properly registered. On Providenciales, the main island, the average single-family home sits around the $1 million range, and the prime villas go well into the multi-millions. Condos often average $700 to $900 per square foot, with Grace Bay pushing even higher. Instead of annual property tax, buyers pay a one-time stamp duty at closing. On Providenciales, that looks like 0% under $25,000, 6.5% up to $250,000, 8% up to $500,000, and 10% above $500,000. Once you add legal fees and registration, your typical budget is about 8.5 to 10% in closing costs. I'm here with Venica, a local agent here in Turks and Caicos. Let's start with a question many international buyers have. For someone coming from New York or Toronto, what does $1 million, $2 or $3 million actually buy today?
So for someone coming to Turks and Caicos Islands, what actually does $1 million, $2 million, or $3 million buy them? Well, we do have properties that are in that price range. Most likely you will be looking at a condo unit per se. And when it comes to condo units, you can find, like, let's just say, for example, one bedroom, depending on the development, can start at around $1 million. Right now, we are at the Tides, which is about $1.1 million. And this one here is actually a 2-bedroom. So it all depends on the development that you are at. So that price point is available in the Turks and Caicos Island.
From what you're seeing locally, how different are prices today compared with 3 or 4 years ago?
In terms of pricing from last year to this year, I think that most of the prices have remained steady. Prices have generally increased over the past years. Just to say, I've been in real estate for over 20 years. And at that time, I've only seen the prices increase. But for some reason, last year, we could see that the prices have remained steady for a bit in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
This condo I'm touring is a great example of what buyers can find near Grace Bay. We're at the Tides, a boutique development with only 14 units, which means it's quieter and more private than any of the larger resort properties on the island. This particular unit is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath junior penthouse with a very smart layout designed for both comfort and flexibility. The main living space is open concept, connecting the living room, dining area, and modern kitchen, a layout that works really well for relaxed island living. From the living area, you step out onto a private balcony with partial ocean views, perfect place to enjoy the breeze and the tropical surroundings. One feature that really stands out here is the lockout room. One of the bedrooms can function as a separate suite, which gives owners flexibility. You can use it for guests who want privacy or rent it separately if you're generating vacation rental income. That flexibility is one of the reasons properties like this attract buyers who want both a personal retreat and an investment opportunity. And with Grace Bay Beach just a short walk away, the location makes it even more attractive for both owners and renters. Location matters a lot here. Providenciales is the main hub, international airport, Grace Bay Resort, and the strongest resale and rental market. But once you move outside the resort areas, you often trade walkability for more land, privacy, or canal front homes. Other islands like North, Middle, and South Caicos can offer lower prices and land opportunities, but with less infrastructure and fewer comparable sales. So buyers really have to decide: convenience and rental demand, or privacy and long-term upside. Back at the Tides, there's also a 1-bedroom unit in the same building, a more accessible entry point for buyers who want lower carrying costs while still being steps from the beach. Just down the road is The Point, a luxury development by Grace Bay Resorts. I stopped by their office. It was closed, but I picked up their information package. A 3-bedroom residence is priced at over $3 million. At this level, you're getting oceanfront positioning, premium finishes, resort amenities, and established hospitality brand that already has a guest base and rental management in place. This is the segment of the market that's seen the sharpest price appreciation because there's only so much true beachfront land they can ever exist here. Venica had an emergency and had to leave, so Wayne Garland, the property manager here at the Tides, stepped in to answer my questions. Wayne manages short-term rentals on the property, so this was actually a great opportunity to get answers straight from someone working in it every day. A lot of people watching are probably wondering, can you legally Airbnb property here?
Yes, you can legally Airbnb properties here at Tides. However, we do have a rental management program that we run through Airbnb and through all the other various rental programs like Expedia, bookings, etc. So we do have a rental program.
And one rent here as a way to like or
Well, they'll have to get a license from the government because they'll have to get a business license. But again, like I said, we take all of that out for them. So they don't have to do that. If they buy a property here, then we manage all of that for them. So that the license fees and all that stuff is already included. So they don't have to worry about license fees and so forth. So we manage it, rent it for them.
once someone buy and then they
Yes, once they buy a unit here at Tides, they enter into a separate agreement with the management program that we do have here, and then we manage it for them, right? So we rent it through our management program, and then they get a financial statement at the end of each period. That's the end of each month, showing them what rental and then what cost was taken. So the management fees, what we do a 60-40% split. So the owners get 60% of the revenue from the unit, and then the management company get 40%. Here at Tides, we run anywhere from about 65 to 70% occupancy per year, year round.
Wow.
Well, actually, that's a little bit above average because we are such a small, sort of quaint property close to the beach. So we do have a large returning guest population that comes back. So we are sort of a nice little niche property. So we do have a higher rental yearly management program. No, that is a new development that is being built next to us. That is at Regis, actually, which is being built next to us. It's not us.
So licensing, inspections, and strata rules are things buyers really need to understand before closing, not after. Let me wrap up with the basic steps to buying property in Turks and Caicos. If you're doing this from overseas, step 1, build your local team. You want a licensed Turks and Caicos real estate agent and a local real estate attorney. The attorney handles the legal work, title verification, and registration. Step 2, make an offer. Properties here are typically marketed through a local MLS system, and once a price is agreed on, the buyer, seller, sign a sale and purchase agreement. Step 3, due diligence. Your attorney conducts title searches through the government's registered land system to confirm ownership, boundaries, and that there are no liens or issues. Step 4, deposit. Most requires 10% deposit, which is held in a secure escrow client account. Step 5, closing and stamp duty. At closing, you pay the remaining balance and the one-time government stamp duty, which on Providenciales typically runs between about 6.5 and 10%, depending on the purchase price. 6, registration and management. The title transfer is then recorded at the land registry, and many owners set up property management if they plan to rent the home as a vacation property. Turks and Caicos is clearly a lifestyle market, beautiful water, limited land, and strong demand from international buyers. But like any overseas purchase, it's important to understand the rules and numbers and the local process before buying. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments and tell me what questions you have about buying property here. I'm Claudia Louis, a Queens and Long Island realtor based in New York, and from time to time I travel to destinations like this to explore international property markets and connect with local experts. If you enjoy seeing real estate around the world along with insights from the New York market, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.